5 things you want to know about today's new moon eclipse in Libra. 1, it's karmic, it's fated, it's destined. An eclipse is always bringing up our north and south node lines, like that's our destiny line. So the things that are going on right now, the things that are loud, the things that are alive, the things that are really hot for you, the things that are coming into your awareness, there are no coincidences, right? There's no synchronicities here. It's all fated. It's all destined. Like the things that are alive are very karmic for you. They're very destined for you. So we want to just maybe take a moment to reflect on things and go like, all right, what's really here? What is showing up right now? Because it has to do with your highest path, your destined path. All right, that's point number 1. Point number 2, it's a lot about relationships. We cannot have a new moon in Libra, South Node eclipse without saying it's about relationships. So the relationship axis is lit up. That is the axis of Libra Aries. This new moon in Libra, this eclipse, the nodes of fate are in Aries and Libra. It has a lot to do with relationships. Now, if we talk about point number 1, which was karma, you want to think karmic relationships, karmic relationship patterns. You want to think soulmates. You want to think things like twin flames. You want to think things like trauma bonding. You want to think things like boundaries. So when we talk relationships, we also want to talk about the other themes that come up with relationships, self versus other, me versus we. We want to think about boundaries. We want to think about codependent patterns and tendencies, overly independent patterns and tendencies. This is really pointing to next right relationship to relationship itself. All right, that's theme number 2. Number 3 that we definitely want to pay attention to is Lilith. Black moon Lilith is conjunct this new moon eclipse. So that really very much flavors the whole of this eclipse. These whole days before, days after, what does this mean? We have a dark goddess, right? Dark goddess, deep, hidden, feminine, also deeply sacred, very mystical, very mysterious, very unknown, very hidden feminine energy coming up to the surface. Now, we all have very different relationships to the deep sacred feminine, and she will show us, right? Lilith, in her true form, in eclipse season, can reveal things. It can also hide things, right? So it's like sliding glass doors and mirrors in like the hall of mirrors. It's very strange. Like eclipse times are very strange times. So it's like revealing but hiding things that were always there, but now they're just really hot and alive and in the surface, and then you can't see them again. But this is going to be pointing to, so in all of that like sliding glass door energy, it's going to be pointing to deeper revelation of your relationship to the full, free, wild expression of the feminine. Full, free, wild expression of the feminine. When we think Lilith, we want to think wild woman, like the wild woman of all wild women. Like I am sexually liberated. I am fully alive. Kind of like that wise old woman sort of thing where it's like the crone just doesn't give a fuck what anybody thinks. She's like, this is just who I am. I am no longer a people pleaser, right? I am no longer trying to conform to society's rules. I am no longer trying to fit in a box. I am no longer trying to do this. That's Lilith. That's Lilith. Now, this isn't necessarily man-woman kind of relationships. It's about the feminine in all of us. But those of us who have strong feminine, we are going to be probably a bit fucking pissed off right now. I know I have been spending days in this Lilith, like just angry. That's Lilith. It's beautiful because that anger can turn into sacred rage. That's what Lilith is wanting for us, is bringing us up to 3rd stage expression of full liberated feminine, but in a divine way. All right. So that's enough on that point. We could go deeper and deeper and deeper into that. We worked in that territory in Bones. If you're interested in journeying into that territory, type Bones. We'll shoot you a link. We just did the workshop yesterday. It was live. You catch the replay. Dive in. It's a perfect thing to do today on the eclipse. All right, Bones. That gets you the information, or just look for links all over the place. All right, point number 4. Let's dive into this a little bit deeper. We're square Mars. So this eclipse is square to Mars. Mars is the god of war. That's going to make it even spicier, right? We got Lilith up there, right? Activist, demanding equality. She also demands equality between the masculine and the feminine, right? And she demands the full reclamation of the feminine. But now we have Mars squaring off with her. I mean, he is squaring off to this new moon eclipse, which is conjunct Lilith, right? That's God of War, just at war with the new moon, at war with Lilith, at war with the feminine in all of us. So there could be a real battle in our relationships. Remember, point number 2 was our relationships. Could be a real battle between the masculine and feminine in our relationships. You know, Lilith demanding that the fullness of the feminine be honored in a relationship. Mars, right? He's in Cancer, so he's kind of fighting for home. He's fighting for stability. So Mars, the masculine, is probably going to be fighting for, can't we just keep it same? Like, what the fuck's wrong? Like, no, like, and he'll have a little bit to say, right? Because he's pretty fiery, passionate, ferocious. His counterpart is Venus. Now, Venus, we could say, is in still not necessarily full reclamation of the expression of Lilith, right? Of the expression of like the full fucking wildness. Like, when you just start to work archetypally, Venus is a lot easier of an archetype to work with than Lilith. She's a lot less ragey. She's a lot less fierce grace. She's a lot less dark goddess. She's a lot less like, I will rip your head off if you're unconscious, Mr. Mars, right? Mars is not Lilith's counterpart, right? They're not an archetypal couple. Venus is Mars's archetypal couple, so he ain't gonna be handling her all that well. Like if it was Shiva would be able to handle her all that well. Saturn would actually be able to handle her much more. And I don't mean handle, I mean meet her. Like meet her in her fullness. Him in his fullness, meeting her in her fullness. Mars is just not that archetype that will meet her. He'll meet Venus, like he can hold Venus, but she's fucking sweet compared to Lilith. So we've got that going on. All right, point number 5 in this eclipse that we definitely need to talk about is that, I don't want to say that one. I'm going to say it. All right, here we go. We have Priapus opposing Lilith conjunct the new moon, right? So Lilith conjunct the new moon, opposite that archetypal energy is Priapus. Priapus brings up the toxic masculine. I know, we're just bashing on the masculine, aren't we? I fucking love the masculine, y'all. Like, I'm a crazy masculine person. Like, my partner is more masculine than any masculine partner that I've ever fucking been with. I am in deep devotion to the masculine, but this is just a moment in time where he's kind of getting his ass kicked. He's kind of being shown, like, here's your toxicity. Here's where you can't hold the fullness of the feminine. Here's where you can't stay conscious to life. Here's where you can't keep your heart illuminated. Here's where you shut down. Here's where you get into emotional overwhelm because you've not done any emotional work at all on yourself or in the world. Here's where you judge the feminine. Here's where you don't like this aspect about feminine sexuality. Here's this. And so it is a time where the masculine is being very, very challenged. The feminine is being challenged to bring out her truth and her fullness, her sexual expression, her full, free, liberated, wild woman self. That's the challenge in the feminine. The challenge in the masculine is to fucking meet that with love, devotion, and consciousness. Just that. If you want to work with it, again, we do all that in Bones. We do tantric shadow work in Bones. So it's this exact thing. We're working exactly with this archetypal energies, this eclipse energy. It's happening in membership. It's $59. There's that 2-hour workshop, plus there's 8 hours of additional workshops in there. So go grab it. Just did it yesterday, hot off the presses. It was wild. I think we had like 75% of the circle in tears, including myself. Yeah. We also do Golden Kali. So if any of you are like loving Kali and like, I've never worked with her, she shows up in her golden form. It's stunning. Kali asteroid right now is sextile and trine these nodes of fate. It's amazing. All right, Bones, get you all that, or links around. Again, it's $59. Go try it out. You don't have to stick around. Just try it for a month. Just do it during eclipse. Do it today while this eclipse energy is wild. If not today, do it tomorrow while all this stuff is super, super open. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. It is the wildest workshop that has ever come through in membership. The wildest, like scariest for me to hold, because I was like, do we do this? Are we actually going to do this? We're going to go this deep online in a circle. That's our membership. Are we really going to do this? And we did. And it was stunning and it was beautiful and it was glorious. And if it sings to you, go check out the details, right? Go check out the details. And if it sings, great. If not, happy eclipse, happy new moon. Fucking love you all. And I'm grateful to be here with you. Have a great day.